Welcome back to ABC's General Hospital, spoilers and deep drama from July 7 to 18, 2025 ***. As Port Charles braces for another wave of devastation, the residents are caught in a chaotic storm of grief, betrayal, and shocking revelations. The two-week span from July 7 to July 18, 2025, delivers emotional landmines across every major family and alliance, thrusting characters into choices that could either redeem them or send them spiraling into personal destruction. The deaths, the confessions, the interrogations, and the unraveling of long-held secrets collide in a crescendo of classic General Hospital turmoil. But perhaps most devastating of all is the chaos erupting from the past, from Natalia's death to Britt's possible maternity claim, dragging everyone, especially Lulu, Sunny, and Marco, into a spiraling descent. Marco Ramos finds himself consumed by his mother Natalia's death. For the first time in his adult life, he doesn't have control over the situation. No badge, no prosecutor, and no legal argument can bring her back, or undo what he's beginning to suspect. Alone in the apartment once occupied by his mother, Marco methodically searches through her belongings. When he picks up her phone, the screen is cracked but still functional. Within it lies a message thread, fragmented, strange, and unfinished. The digital remnants of a woman who lived in fear but refused to retreat. There are texts that make no sense to him, filled with veiled references to cleaning up messes and final favors. One in particular stands out, a message Natalia sent just hours before her overdose, warning that she had already gone too far and that someone was watching the bar. Marco isn't sure if she meant Charlie's or something else entirely, but what he does know is this: Natalia wasn't just scared. She was cornered. His suspicion slowly crystallizes into rage, with Sonny Corinthos becoming the eye of his hurricane. The man his mother was about to testify against. The man who, by all accounts, stood to lose the most if she exposed the extent of his operations. Marco wants justice, but he also wants clarity. So he reaches out to D.A. Turner, not just as a formality, but as a demand. The investigation into Natalia's death, he insists, must be reopened. This time with no immunity, no boundaries, and no one above suspicion, including Sonny himself. But the war Marco is preparing to wage intersects with another front in the city, one that exploded quite literally when Charlie's, the bar co-managed by Sonny's daughter Christina, went up in flames. Though initial chatter blamed a rival gang or a simple electrical fire, whispers of arson spread quickly. Sonny downplays the damage, telling Lara there's a way to contain the fallout. Yet behind closed doors, he knows the implications are damning. Too many fires. Too many enemies. And too many deals made in shadows. The bomb might have been a message, not to him, but about him. And it couldn't have come at a worse time, with Selena Wu conveniently pushed into the spotlight as a scapegoat and the looming referendum threatening to expose the tangled roots of Port Charles's underworld. Meanwhile, Sasha Gilmore stumbles across a revelation of her own. And it rattles her to the core. Whether it concerns baby Daisy or something more sinister remains unclear, but what's certain is that she can no longer look the other way. It might be a hidden file, a secret camera feed, or even a name she thought she'd buried with her grief, but it's enough to send her racing out of her apartment and into a web of paranoia. Somewhere else in Port Charles, Rocco confronts a truth he can no longer deny. His instincts, sharpened by years of emotional neglect and unanswered questions, lead him to believe that Lulu isn't his biological mother. And when he finds an old birth certificate tucked away in Brook Lynn's belongings, one altered and partially burnt, the pieces begin to fall into place. He's convinced now, Britt Westbourne might be his real mother. Lulu, upon hearing Rocco's accusations, breaks. There's a wildness in her eyes, the same defiance she carried during her darkest days. She tries to call Dante, hoping he can help her contain the situation, but Rocco refuses to wait. His confrontation is raw, public, and laced with pain. His words pierce her like knives. If Lulu had known all along, what kind of mother does that make her? Simultaneously, Anna Devane ramps up her own investigation. She brings Sidwell in for what she calls a routine questioning, but it's anything but routine. She corners him about Charlie's explosion, Natalia's death, and Selena Wu's sudden disappearance. Sidwell deflects expertly, but there's a flash of discomfort when Anna brings up Natalia's text messages. He tells Anna, coldly and without apology, that if she wants answers, she should stop looking at ghosts and instead knock on Sonny Corinthos' front door. But Anna is done with veiled threats. Her instincts tell her that the rot is deeper than any one man, and Sidwell just confirmed it. As Lulu spirals in the wake of Rocco's accusations, Brook, Lynn, and Cody find themselves facing a reckoning of their own. The two finally confront the unspoken tension between them, the lingering resentment, the shared guilt. Brook Lynn believes Cody has been too cavalier, too careless with the truth. Cody thinks Brook Lynn has used her connections to manipulate outcomes. But when they speak openly, both finally acknowledge the mess they're in. Rocco, after all, wouldn't have discovered anything if Cody hadn't gotten careless. And now, the truth is out, or at least dangerously close. Lulu doesn't wait long before going straight to Brook Lynn. Her rage is volcanic. This isn't just about betrayal, it's about identity theft, about erasure. She accuses Brook Lynn of conspiring to erase Britt from Rocco's life, of fabricating a lie that has robbed her son of his origins. Gio, witnessing the fallout, tries to offer clarity. He turns to Carly, unsure of how to navigate the emotional chaos. Carly, for her part, is honest in a way that surprises even her. She admits that Sonny's world is collapsing, and that pretending otherwise will only cause more casualties. She cautions Gio to tread carefully. The people who survive in this town are the ones who know when to disappear and when to strike. Elsewhere, Jocelyn delivers what appears to be a breakup to Bon. A seemingly abrupt end to their budding relationship, despite their recent kiss. But her words feel rehearsed, calculated. Is it really a breakup? Or is it a distraction, meant to shield Emma or even Dalton from some deeper scheme? Jocelyn might be playing a long game, but the emotional whiplash she inflicts may have consequences even she can't anticipate. On July 8, Alexis Davis emerges with an unexpected win. After years of self-doubt and setbacks, she finally impresses someone. Perhaps Marco, who's slowly recognizing her grit and clarity in ways others never have. It's Alexis who reminds him that justice is often delayed, distorted, or buried, but never dead. She speaks of redemption and forgiveness with a quiet authority, perhaps unaware that she's begun to inspire a man who thought he'd lost everything. Meanwhile, Portia and Elizabeth reconnect, sharing more than just professional updates. Their conversation drifts into personal territory. Their children, their regrets, their hopes. Elizabeth reveals how hard it's been to keep her family intact after all the scandals. Portia nods, knowing too well the price of silence and survival. They share a rare moment of peace, a calm before the storm. And the storm is coming. The next week promises more interrogations, more confrontations, and perhaps most chilling of all, more truths clawing their way out of the shadows. Britt Westbourne's name is no longer a whisper. Sidwell's grip on the city is starting to slip. Lulu's composure is shattered. And Marco, who once believed in the power of law and order, is now beginning to believe in vengeance. The line between right and wrong in Port Charles has always been blurred. But as July unfolds, that line may disappear altogether.